Lifting family, all right, so first smoke. So the plan here was basically just to pick up some sort of beef. I wanted a nice thick cut of beef, and in my head my plan was to pick up a chuck roast, but in my haste I did not pick that up. But at the same time I realized that when I got home, so I still was going to basically follow the same procedure. I mean, when it comes to beef, as I get better with smoke, I obviously don't want to waste a good cut of beef, and that's something where practice can help a little bit with that. But at the same time, this is something where for a thrifty person like myself and for thrifty people like my viewers, that's something that I think that people will appreciate. So click a thumbs up if you're a thrifty person like myself. Outside of that, I am basically going to be applying the rub mixture that I'm showing you here, and it's going to be in half teaspoon measures. Other than the black and the white pepper, those are going to be quarter teaspoon measures. Outside of that, I'm going to be marinating that overnight, and then I'm going to be getting my smoker up to temp at 250. Basically putting the meat in, and then focusing on the 225 temp to make sure that at that point I'm not losing too much heat when I open the door and put the meat on. And then I'm going to be aiming for around 160 to 165 before I actually wrap up the meat and put it in basically like a nice mixture of some vegetables, some beef broth, and then tighten that up with some tin foil, and then bring up the temperature of the smoker to 250, and then also make sure that I'm finishing this off at around 190 to 200. I'm hoping that time will permit here, but at the same time, it is my first smoke, so I think that in any case it's going to turn out well, just because my expectations are not super high. But at the same time, the plan is basically I have to apply smoke every half hour, so I've got to add in little wood chips every half hour. I'm going to be using pecan, and then every hour I'm going to basically be spraying this down with some beef broth. So I'm not going to be using any sort of a moisture pan to basically add any water pan or anything like that in there. I've seen some other videos where they've had good success with that, especially when it comes to spritzing every hour. So applying smoke every half hour, spritzing plus smoke every hour, and then again with the wrapping procedure, and then finishing everything off with a nice rest at the end to kind of see how everything turns out. So I'm really excited. This is something that I really wanted to start doing sooner. It's just that with everything that's gone on in 2020, it ended up being a little bit difficult. But I picked up my Masterbuilt new to me smoker, so I was able to pick up something that was used, which was super fantastic, because as I get better at this, I can then expand into something where it's auger fed, and it makes things a little bit easier where I'm not having to watch it so much. But at the same time, this is one of those things where I really want to make sure that I'm doing things in a proper way, and that I'm not just allowing the smoker to do all the work and then I enjoy the results. I think that those two things go hand in hand. So if you're a little bit more of someone that likes to focus on things and be a little more hands-on, another thumbs up there when it comes to that, just because I think that that's something that even though that subscribers might be thrifty, subscribers to my channel might be thrifty people, at the same time we're all still hardworking individuals that are just trying to make a go of things and see how things work out. And that's the same exact case here. So I mean, I'm not trying to give you some sort of an award-winning brisket recipe right now. Hopefully I can do that in the future, but let's see how this smoke turns out. Alright, so I had to move my rack down towards the center. I thought I had it up a little bit higher, but these gloves are pretty amazing when it comes to being able to do that. So here we go. Try not to show too much, to lose too much heat. And I was just kind of setting the timer to make sure that I didn't lose time. So I'm going to figure that this is probably going to take somewhere around 6 hours. right now, looking at 159. I'm aiming to go somewhere between 190 and 195 for this one in terms of finishing it off, but we do actually have a grocery pickup that I need to leave here around 1 o'clock, and we're looking at just shy of 12, so we're looking at 1150 right now. So I mean, it's something where I don't think it's going to get quite to that point. I'm hoping that maybe by 1:30ish I can leave, and then I can let it rest. I'll bring it inside, and then I'll essentially just put it in the oven. You know, no heat, but put it in the oven. Outside of that, this will be my first beef roast when it comes to my first beef smoke on a smoker, rather than just doing it with a grill. So I'm really excited to see how this one turns out. Alright, so the roast has been essentially resting in the oven for a little bit over an hour, so grocery pickup ended up taking a little bit longer than I had planned, but at the same time, I am super excited. I've had several close changes today too, apparently. The smoke smelled earlier, and then I ended up having to change into this to get a little bit warmer with the Michigan weather, but rather than hold off any further, let's pull this thing out and see what we got. And of course, I forgot to get something out to pull it out with. Smells amazing. I am super excited. So we got a little bit of fat here. You can still kind of see everything. I just don't want to have it slide off. Guess this might be a little more like the tip section. But now for everybody's favorite part. So and there's a little bit of a smoke ring on there. Not as bright and pink as I was kind of hoping for, but at the same time, I mean, it's still really juicy, really tender. So I pulled off a little bit of the au jus here, I guess. Not really made as an au jus just yet, but at the same time, could actually render that down in some gravy too, which would be amazing. Good bit of smoky flavor. Got a nice little fat cap on there too. That piece is mine. So overall, I added about as much smoke as I could. I think that next time I might pull it off a little bit sooner. It did get up to 190 degrees, but for my first smoke, when it comes to being on that smoker there, I still like it. I still definitely enjoy the flavor. Super good. Click that thumbs up if you like videos like this. Who knows, maybe the channel will take a different direction. Comment down below. Maybe I slaughtered something. Comment down below, let me know. Outside of that, click that subscribe button. I appreciate all you subscribers out there. Thank you so much for your support. I'm going to enjoy this. It's my day off on a Friday, which is nice. Outside of that, thank you for watching, and as always, keep pushing.